Thanks for tuning in to Commo's Corner. Today we're going to be looking at the 9.0 test server. First thing we notice when we get in the game is new features in the graphics. You can select different things now. It's actually a lot more organized than what it used to be. If you look at the buttons here, extra effects quality for example, you can put your mouse right over it and it actually tells you now what it does into the game. So you can adjust all these different settings with sliders now. So it's a lot more user friendly than what it was before. Now we're going to look at just some of the tanks that I have. Look at the way they modeled it. You can notice some of the glares now. It's a lot more defined and highly detailed, especially the tracks. Just taking a look, scruff marks on the side. That's a top view. You can see how it's a lot more detailed now compared to what it used to be. They did a very good job at this. Now the Lorraine, you can actually see right through the gun, which I didn't notice on the current 8.11. I don't think you can do. He also added a new garage. It's a little bit more interesting than what it used to be. This is the Type 59. You can see all the wear and tear on the vehicle, especially around the turret and parts of the tank. Things, like I said, things are a lot more defined. The Sherman, you can see right on the front where the crew members got up on the tank. Again, scrape marks on the side. The in-game suspension works a lot better on this test. Go over a little bump and all the suspension is independent, just like they noted. This is the new split for the tank destroyer, the Stug. And this is the Panzer IVs. And this is just a live view of rotating the tank around, and you know, sparks fly in the background and stuff like that now in your garage. It's the M103. Just give it a little bit of a live view of what it will look like in the garage from now on in this patch. You can see everything is highly detailed now. Even the metal's bent here and there, some scrapes. You can actually see some shiny parts of the metal now. Everything looks a lot more realistic. The wheels have been rounded now. The tracks actually look a lot better. A lot more detail was put into it now. You can see, I think I zoom out here yet, the front of the gun is a little bit different now. Hate to look down the barrel of a gun, but in this case, it was worth it. This is just a live battle I did. Looking at the different models of the tanks and how they look like during gameplay here. You see the T-95 looks like it belongs in the desert now. Yeah, the battle will start momentarily here, and everything looks a little bit different, but all in all it does work pretty good. And now I put my HUD back up. And I could care less about what I'm doing in the game other than just show off the tracks and stuff. You can see how the rollers and the suspension are all independent now. High speed, you can't really tell too much during the high speed. As you get down towards the lower speed and you hit bumps here and there, you'll actually notice that the suspension is more independent. You can see it rocking a little bit. At some point here I do stop. Yeah, there's a bump. Again, this is on the test server, so no big deal if you shoot, miss, shoot, hit, die, live. Doesn't matter to me. It's all on the test server. You can see how the dynamic lighting works on the tank with the shadow now. I believe they've improved that. Notice in the sniper mode, it's like almost like a bluish tint now compared to the live view. There's the bluish tint. If I zoom out again, it kind of gets a little bit whiter. All in all, I think they did a pretty decent job. There's a bunch of maps that do have changes. That Severogorsk map, for example, the big hill all the way to the right of the map, it's been actually flattened a little bit, and there's actually more multiple routes now to get up it. So it encourages a little more gameplay in that area. I haven't checked the left hill out yet. As always, if you have any questions on the gameplay, you can always go to World of Tanks and look at their videos to see what the changes are for the mechanics and the graphics. This patch does introduce a tank turret blowing off now and turning into debris when it hits the ground. The tank turret that's on the ground can be used now to act as cover. I also noticed it's a lot easier to move tanks around in this patch now, or at least on the test server it is. So we'll sign off here, and thank you for coming, and hopefully in the next patch we'll introduce a bunch of other videos that we can look at.